All right, welcome back to the We Not Odd podcast. Today we got Patrick Ballantyne. How are you doing, Patrick?
Hey Garrison, doing well today.
All right, so I was just fortunate enough to be a guest on your podcast, the Listen to Your Heart podcast, on Apple Music and Spotify. Listeners can check it out, but all about relationships and dating and a lot of other key things. Thanks for
Yep.
joining this one.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So, what is it about doing your podcast and you and I have been friends for a while through hockey, and your brother played hockey with me, and
Yep.
it's been we've known each other for a while. So, what was it about starting a podcast about relationships and dating?
All right. So I've been single for nearly 3 years, and well, I've for my past relationships, me and my exes never really had like a good general talk of what the future would bring. So when we got to nearly 2 years for each of them, our futures just ended up being differently. So obviously they didn't work out, and obviously I'm seeing more people couple up left and right. Well, not that it's a problem or anything, but it's just like, well, life's going. Here I am still single. I'm just like, I have a lot of experience with dating and relationships and sex, and I just, well, want to talk about it. And hey, people can listen in or not. That's totally up to them. And I've been doing pretty well for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you just had me on your podcast to talk a little bit about mental health and how mental health plays an impact in my relationship and just meeting new people and maintaining a healthy relationship. And I know you and I touched a little bit there on some of the things that are important in that arena. What is it that you find yourself dealing with or going through, and how do you manage to work on your mental health?
Well, generally for me and my mental health, I usually like to have like a balance of, time where I would be with my significant other, time with family, time with friends, but also I'd have my me time, as I like to say. So, like at least once or twice a week, I have like 1 or 2 nights where I have straight up peace and quiet for my night. And that's just like my general time where I just like to pause before, like, so like there's only so many hours in the day and world's just going fast, and you just want to, what's the word I'm looking for, just exhale,
Yeah,
because you know yeah, you want to be happy with relationships. Hey, as I can, all right, I'll probably quote Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. Yes, I believe in love, or else what's the point of living? So it's like, yeah, I would love to find that one person, but I have to work up on myself and learn from my past mistakes of dating, to be happy. And it would be cool, but you can't force it. It'll just happen on its own. And right now I'm just enjoying my single time.
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the me time is really cool and special. I'm glad that that works well for you. Just kind of taking that the time, whether it be in the morning or at night, to just focus on yourself is huge.
Oh yeah, it is. Like, I kind of recently decided that I don't want to have kids, and that's my decision. Obviously, there are a lot of women out there that I see on these dating apps. Well, I'll just say mostly these dating apps because that's how mostly I interact with them. And most of them want kids, and hey, that's fine. But for me, it was just my decision where I don't want kids. And there are other women out there who don't want kids either. I can always put it this way, as I learned from a different dating podcast. for your pot, there'll be a lid for it. And there's a lid for every pot. So, hey,
Mm.
there'll be someone out there who wants the same thing as me, gets my humor, and I get their humor. So it's like, all right, just be happy. Um, get help when you need it. Uh, just enjoy your time where you just, like, I'm blanking here, where you're just working on yourself. So I'm
Mm.
just working on myself. I like the way my life's going. It just gets, I know this year for me being 31, I just want to be a better adult. Like right now, I'm shopping for a car because my car just died. Funny as it is, just coming home from a hockey game the other
Oh
night.
no.
So, no, it was the good part is I was only 2 miles away from my apartment. So it wasn't
Jeez.
that bad to get me home. So generally, it's like, okay, this sucks right now that my car shit the bed. I didn't like my car anyways. It was a
Mm.
lemon car. So it's like, okay, when one door closes, another door opens. That's fine. And you know what? And then for dating wise, all right, yeah, let's talk about dating. I don't really, it doesn't really bother me anymore if a girl like stops talking to me or ghosts me. I'll be like, all right, you know what? Maybe she could have been the one if she wanted to keep talking to me, but if she doesn't, all right,
Yeah.
bye. Off to the
Yeah.
next one.
Love that. Yeah. Totally, man.
And the good thing about online dating is the fact that, all right, this girl didn't work out. 5 swipes later, I see a pretty cute girl, and hey, either I put up a good message, some effort, depending on the app, and they either swipe right for me or left. No big deal. Life goes on.
Yeah. Plenty of people out there, and I know I like what you said there with there's a lid for every pot. That's a good way of
Yeah.
looking at it. I think that's a very healthy metaphor there.
Oh yeah. For these
Uh,
dating groups that I'm on, I always like helping other people from like my mistakes and helping for theirs. Like, okay, say you're suspecting that your significant other is cheating, you'd be like, all right, you really need to talk to that person and really look them in the eye and see if they're cheating or not. And hey, if it's not working out, talk it out or break it off because if you're in this continuous cycle of being sad, you're going to be sad. But
mm,
there's a way out of it if you're continuing to be sad, is just break it off because it's really
yeah.
not worth being in a relationship if you're that sad all the time.
Yeah, upfront
And
communication, and if you're hiding stuff from each other, that's definitely not great for mental health and psyche and just the stuff that you think about and hide from people. I can totally see
right,
um, that deterioration of mental health from that aspect of relationships. But I also wanted to ask you, like, so you mentioned, me time being a big focus for you that helps you out. I know the two of us share the love of hockey, and you're very active in the hockey world and doing a lot of refereeing around
yep,
Buffalo and big into the hockey ref community as well. Is there anything with the sport or things that you find has been really helpful on your mental health?
yep. So there, as you can imagine, sometimes I get yelled at, screamed at by hockey parents because, well, in Buffalo, it is a bit crazy for hockey.
Oh yeah.
And each time, like, I'll play an example. For one time, there was this very big hockey tournament where we had this team come up all the way from Florida, and it was snowing. And this was an outdoor rink. So it was snowing, like, during the game, and obviously they weren't used to it. But I called a good game, and everything was fine until I had this parent really get up in my space, and he was like, "Oh, I just want to let you know you're like the worst ref I've ever seen."
No.
And yes, so just you're just like, okay, you're caught off guard. There's certain ways you can handle a situation, but it's just like, okay. I really don't want to get in a fight with this person because, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". I weigh nearly 300 pounds. I'm basically 6'5" on skates,
Mm,
and I just literally backed away from this person, just like, okay, this is gonna eat at me a bit. So it's just like, okay, what can I do to calm down? Some of the times I smoke a joint because, well, it just relaxes me. I don't do it every game, but sometimes it digs at you, and it's just one joint, you relax. Other times I go for a walk just to calm down because it eats at you sometimes when you get yelled at, and hey, that's fine. Then other times I just watch like a hockey movie or
mm.
have a playlist to where I can dance. And you know what? It's all fine after that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dancing is definitely good medicine.
Yes. And it is funny as it is. I've been yelled at by some coaches where, the next day I have to deal with them. But most of the time I go up and be professional and be like, hey, you know what? Yesterday, I really didn't like how you were. I really hope today you can get it in that manner. Then most of the time, the coaches will apologize, like, all right, we were just in the moment. I'm sorry. We'll try and be better. And the thing is, so there is a ref shortage. I'm not going to lie. So
Mm,
it's like we are needed because we're going from rink to rink to rink.
right.
But getting yelled at, it kind of like hurts like our mental health because, well,
Yeah.
put yourself in a 14-year-old like skates. You made a bad offside call, and the coach is giving you grief about it.
Mm,
Most of the time, the young kids they're gonna walk away because for no one really deserves to get yelled at for no matter what job they do. Like it's just a game,
yeah.
and so it's just like, all right, there can be better ways where for hockey ref and for referees in general, where they can talk to like a therapist, be like, okay, this is wrong, but also the coaches too, because no one really likes to get yelled at as well, and you really don't want to make yourself look like a jerk in front of like a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, of course.
Mm, what else? And
Yeah.
you know, there are
Um,
times where I need to take a weekend off to like
mhm.
relax, and that's fine with me. And that's really like what I need every few months. Like let's just say about 3 times throughout a hockey season, I need like a one weekend where I'm not refereeing hockey, no
Mm,
rink in sight. I just need like one weekend where it's just not crazy. So really my mental health really is important for me refereeing hockey. It's just like I love this game. It means a lot to me. I love going to the games and just overall skating, and just it feels good when I do a game. But
yeah.
it does suck when I'm, get yelled at and it eats at me a bit. But it's just like exhale, bro. And some of the times, well, the good thing about Buffalo, there's wings everywhere. So it's like, you know what? After I eat myself some wings when the game's over, and it's
Yeah.
fine.
Love that, man. That's all. That's awesome. Just a little exhale, do some dancing, go on a walk, and get some wings.
Yes, because in Buffalo, we're all about the wings.
What's the best wing spot in Buffalo?
All right. Um. Well, if you're a Patriots fan, I'll send you to the Anchor Bar.
Yeah, no, I
Oh,
know that's not the best.
all right. But no, to answer your question, Gabriel's Gate in Allentown is
Um,
where they fry their wings just perfectly.
hmm.
So yeah, next time you come to Buffalo, I'd probably bring you to Gabriel's Gate.
Yeah, let's do it. I haven't heard of that place. I've been to Sorrentino's. I really liked theirs.
Sorrentino's, I've heard good things about.
Yeah, I got Duff's last time I was in Buffalo, and it was I don't know if it was just because I got him to go or what, but it was underwhelming
Uh,
compared to what I remember.
yeah, when you do takeout food, it's always underwhelming.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
right.
hope you went to the original one because that's near like one of the 190, and that's close to where the Northtown Center is, the really big hockey arena.
Maybe I'm
All
not
right,
sure.
all right. If you don't remember, no big
Yeah,
deal.
there's a couple different ones.
There's a bunch of them.
Well, thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
dude. I really appreciate you sharing what works for your mental health. From refereeing to your relationship podcast, you're up to some great stuff, and it sounds like you are in a good stride, and continuing to enjoy working on yourself, and I'm pretty happy.
yep. Thanks for being happy for me. This is my 21st season refereeing. I started when I was 10, so I have a real deep love for hockey. And for my podcast, I have some really good interviews lined up. One, I'm actually going to interview a porn star about the, the truths and myths about porn. So I know that's going to be good. And
That'll
yeah,
be
I
an
got,
interesting perspective on everything, I'm sure.
oh, yes, really good. So for my podcast, it's called Listen to Your Heart. And if you want to follow me, it is on Apple and Spotify. Thanks for that right there.
Yep.
So, yep, that'll be it. Thanks, Garrison, for having me, and take
Yeah,
care.
totally. And I just threw up your Instagram handle here as well. It's at pbhockey04.
Yes, those are my initials, Pat Ballantyne. Hockey because I love hockey, and 04 because Scott Stevens was my favorite player.
Oh, nice.
Yep. But hey, take care. Thanks for having me.
All right. Cheers, man. Have a good one.
Cheers.